quick before revisionist history kicks in. Donald Trump got 71 million votes in this election. In 2020, he got 74 million votes. In 2020, Biden got 81 million votes. In 2024, Kamala Harris got 67 million votes. So this right here is not a Republican victory. This is a failure of Democrats to turn out and vote, period. That's 15 million less votes than she got than Biden. 15 million less. Not saying it would have made a difference if Biden ran, but boy, did y'all sit this one out.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Picking Knowledge. Today, we'll be talking about the cold, harsh truth we need to accept about the election. So, let's get into it. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to give you multiple perspectives of what I believe to be harsh truths that we just need to accept. I come to you here as a messenger, and more than that, I come to you as an observer. Much of how I view my experience on life is that I'm observing the experience. I'm within it, but the particular role I'm at in my evolution is that of observing to gain further understanding. And one of the things that this particular path helps with, not being attached, is that you aren't polarized. You aren't picking a side. You're seeing what is. Hey, y'all, with the holidays right around the corner, I wanted to get the ball rolling. I know this time of year, people like to gift themselves as well as others readings. And I think this year, more than others, is a really great time to do so. So with that said, I have plenty of sales going on from now until the end of the year. Coaching as well as packages on sale, natal chart consultations, pre-recorded readings, career readings, really generous readings for the children. My creativity bundle where you could get my book and my album for only $20. And of course, we got the personalized North Node readings going on. So like I said, these will be going on all through the end of the year. So tap in with me, set up a consultation, and we'll get to it. Peace. When it comes to political elections, there's a lot of things that are done. But one of the primary things that is done, particularly when connecting with the public, is speaking. So I think it's a real truth that a strong political candidate has to be an effective speaker. They have to have some ability to resonate with others. You can have a great presentation, a great plan, but if you can't persuade others, take it from a teacher. We teach kids persuasive essays. If you can't persuade others to your point or to see your points, then it isn't that effective. So then we can ask ourselves, how does one go about relaying their message? Well, when it comes to politics, it typically comes through a slogan or some type of story attached towards the individual. We obviously know Trump's slogan is "Make America Great Again." And despite how you feel, it proved to be effective, okay? Now, when it comes to Kamala's slogan, I couldn't tell you what it was, but I know that part of her story, obviously, is that she is biracial, and of course, she is a woman. And I think the harsh truth, y'all, is that them pushing that turned some people off. I don't know if it turned them to Trump supporters, but based on the numbers we'll get into, at minimum, it made them not choose either one. And that's just a harsh truth. So continuing with this, I'll go further and say, from my perspective or observation, a majority, because he won the election, a majority of people found Donald Trump, regardless of the message within his communication, what it was about, they found him to be a more likable person, or at minimum, they were more receptive towards his slogan or strategy. There's a confusing element to that, but this is what happened, y'all. Now I could go on for another 10 minutes about why Donald Trump may have came off better, because there's a variety of reasons. One of them I'll just mention is that this is America. The Union of America was founded a particular way, and it was founded by particular people. That is what is within the DNA of the country. And on some unconscious level, the powers that be, which are the people to some extent, said, I feel more comfortable with what is the familiar DNA than going and changing this. If you went out there and voted, I think you did something within your experience. You let it be known the type of energy you're seeking to co-create out here. Then the way life happens, a result occurred. It's not over from there. You want to focus on continuing to cultivate a particular energy in which you can thrive and live within. So when shit really does get crazy, you are prepared, because going back to that North Node in Aries, all you can do is worry about you. All right, y'all. So what I want to do now here is take a look at the numbers. And I've went through a lot of different sources to make sure these are pretty accurate, and these are some of the best ones I've found. I've been hearing a lot of blame already about Black men not showing up for Kamala at the polls. And right here, this says 73% of Black men voted for Kamala. I do believe this is down only about 3 or 4% versus the last election. So if we're being honest, that isn't actually true. Black men didn't necessarily choose Trump over Kamala. At minimum, what we'll find here is that the difference within this election is the people who decided not to vote. But as we, go and continue to look here, we have 50% of white women, 57% of white men voting for Trump. And then, of course, the anomaly here, the 45% of Latino men. We got to be real, y'all. This swayed things. This was the difference. Everything else checks out to be quite regular. 57% of all other ethnicities. As an educator, the age demographics were something I was really interested in. So when we look at 18 to 44, Kamala took 53% of that vote. Ages 45 and up goes to Donald Trump. Now, it gets really interesting when we look at the core young generation, 18 to 24, that is a strong push towards Kamala. More can be understood when we get the exact number of 18 to 24-year-olds voting. The most interesting part here is the 65 and over, dead even. But as expected, 45 to 64 going to Trump. So I think through the age demographics, we could see a lot being revealed. When we look at the numbers by education, there's a stark difference. 62% of people who have never attended college are Donald Trump supporters, while on the other end, those who have obtained a bachelor's or better, voted for Kamala. Now, I'm going to say this in the best way possible. I'm an open-minded person, and we live in a world where we know that you don't need to go to college to be successful. But as an educator and someone who's worked in all levels of education, I can tell you that as an adult, when you choose to go to college, you open your mind towards more critical thinking. Therefore, you would be less susceptible to ignorant thinking. We can see this point being further proved by the fact that when it comes to those who attended college but didn't finish, the vote was very much so split, showing no actual bias except within the opposite end of the spectrum. So then there's the astrology truth of this, y'all. What astrology does is it gives us insight into how I look at it, the structure of a person's consciousness. And based on the axiom of as above, so below, what is present, the potential present at the state of birth is going to materialize throughout the life. Look at the chart of Donald Trump. He has several factors that indicate coming into seats of personal power. One being his Sun conjunct the North Node within the 10th house. An underrated one being Mars in Leo, which activates him, being seen as a leader, trine to his moon in Sag, which he can emotionally connect with people, right? That's present within his chart. A Jupiter in Libra conjunct Neptune, giving him the potential to be idolized by the masses. A lot of factors. Then when we bring in the transits, he has Jupiter in Gemini transiting his Sun in North Node. So he's destined to achieve a high ranking again. And then underrated to that, the Jupiter not only supporting the Sun in the North Node, but is also getting support from the transiting North Node as well as the natal Jupiter itself. So a lot of factors here. So when we look at it, astrology really shows you what potential a person has and its ability to manifest. Now, guys, these are just a couple of things I wanted to highlight to you, all right? Above all, stay focused, stay vigilant, keep evolving, focus on being the best version of yourself. Change yourself, you change the world. If you need a reading, check out my website, GeminiBrown.com. Chat in with me. Till next time, peace.